For those of you that have been exposed to the logical thinking process or some critical thinking, it is advised to keep honing their logical and critical skills as they are use it or lose it skills. I came across an article published April 8, 2019 on the Harvard Business Review website, and the title is Why Managers Ignore Employees' Ideas. You'll find the link in the description of this video, and this article offers a good opportunity to train on building a current reality tree. I am Christian Homan, welcome to this tutorial. There is a saying common about the logical thinking process practitioners: people speak logic trees. What it means is that those people clearly structure their speech either with cause and effect relationships or with necessity-based logic. In the first case, they'll use if-then or variation of it to lead their audience from causes to effects. In the second case, they explain why prerequisites are mandatory in order to achieve something using we must or we need and so on. Both cause and effect logic and necessity-based logic are familiar and welcome to logical and critical thinkers. Now, if people indeed speak trees, it is not that very common, and that's perhaps why logical and critical thinkers prick their ears at a familiar yet not that common way of expressing oneself. In the mentioned article, the authors are so clearly stating the cause and effect relationships, layer after layer, from critical root causes up to the undesirable effect, that I thought they were using a current reality tree for structuring their work. There is no evidence for that though, but a good opportunity to build one upon the elements in the paper. If you, dear followers, are familiar with the logical thinking process and the current reality tree, I recommend you read the paper and build the corresponding current reality tree for the sake of honing your logical thinking skills. Before listening to mine, of course. Therefore, pause your current viewing here and switch to the HBR article, build your CRT, and when done, come back to check my own CRT. For those of you discovering and not familiar with the logical thinking process, just keep watching. Understanding the reasoning is really easy. The tree is not that tall, roughly 6 layers. The blue-lined entities are what I call padding elements that I feel desirable to add in order to strengthen or clarify the logic. Those padding elements are not in the original text. All other entities are elements found in the paper. As the current reality tree is already built, we start presenting it, reading bottom up from the root causes up to the undesirable effects. Ellipses are logical end connectors, signaling that 2 or more entities are required at the very same time to trigger the above effect. If there are more than one cause to trigger an effect, but no ellipse, it means that each cause can, by itself, trigger the effect. Let's start. If decision structures are centralized and authority lies at the top of the hierarchy, then managers are merely go-betweens. This is a factual observation that implies that managers are reduced to being the agents or representative of their team members, but not fully entitled managers. If decision structures are centralized, and if authority lies at the top of the hierarchy, and if changes require going through a tedious central approving process at HQ, and if managers work in environments that do not provide them autonomy to change things, then managers are not empowered to make any changes without going through a tedious central approving process at the HQ. If managers seek improvement ideas at the floor level, then operators expect managers to quickly act on those ideas. If operators expect managers to quickly act on those ideas, and if managers are not empowered to make any changes without going through a tedious central approving process at HQ, then managers cannot quickly act on shop floor improvement ideas. if managers cannot quickly act on the shop floor improvement ideas, and if operators will resent managers not quickly acting on their ideas, then managers want to keep good relations with their operators, not disappointing them about their improvement ideas. If managers want to keep good relations with operators, not disappointing them about their improvement ideas, then managers likely avoid soliciting employees' ideas. We come down again to if managers are not empowered to make any changes without going through a tedious central approving process at HQ, then managers feel disincentivized to take time to seek improvement at the floor level. If managers feel disincentivized to take time to seek improvement at floor level, then managers likely avoid soliciting employees' ideas. If implementing new practices or changes lead to disruptions in the production flow in the short term, and if managers are only awarded on short-term successes like meeting the next deadline or target, then managers are not motivated to take time to seek improvement at floor level, and as seen previously, if managers feel disincentivized to take time to seek improvement at shop floor level, then managers likely avoid soliciting employee ideas. If managers are only rewarded on short-term successes like meeting the next deadline or target, then with the end of quarter production target looming, managers are hard-pressed to find the time to initiate conversations about change. If managers are required to show success in the short term rather than look out for longer-term sustainability, then with end of quarter production target looming, managers are hard-pressed to find time to initiate conversation about change. If with the end of quarter production target looming, managers are hard-pressed to find time to initiate conversations about change, then managers likely avoid soliciting employee ideas. Now, if managers likely avoid soliciting employee ideas, and if we quickly judge by appearances, then we say that managers' ego or fear of change prevents them from encouraging voice from employee on one hand. If managers likely avoid soliciting employees' idea, and if we quickly judge by appearances, then we tend to blame managers when they fail to create speak-up culture on the other hand. There is no more in the article to keep going on with the current reality tree, and too little about countermeasure to try building a future reality tree. Even so the articles fall somewhat short in my opinion, it nevertheless provides a great opportunity to practice building logic trees, here a current reality tree. If you have found value and interest in this tutorial, then please show it with a thumb up. See you soon on this channel, don't forget to subscribe.